Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to a video, and today we're going to be doing a tuning tutorial for Betaflight 3.2.3, which is the newest at the time. This is the quad I'll be using, my newest freestyle build, the Acrolite 230. There'll be links down below to the build and setup tutorial videos I did. So this has the OxFPV Acrolite 230 frame. The T motors, where are they? F40 V2 Pro. They are 2306 2400 kV motors. Have the Betaflight 35 amp 32-bit ESCs. Have the Betaflight F4 in there. TBS Unified HV Race, GoPro Session 5, Tattoo R-Line 1550 95C, FreeSky X4R, TBS Triumph, and a Foxeer Micro up top there. And it is like 10 degrees out right now, so I'm going to be trying out this little hand transmitter thing that I bought from Banggood. So we'll see how that goes. So let's just start it off on stock PIDs here. Okay, so before we get started, let me just do a real quick overview of what the P, I, and D terms are. So the P is proportional, and that's just sort of how quickly it's going to respond with how much force. So it directly relates to sort of stick feel. So if you tilt left, how fast and how aggressive is it going to make that move there? That's just real simple what P is, sort of. I game is the integral. It's sort of like the resistance to outside forces. Say you're flying along and a wind hits you from the back to help, that's going to push it and tilt it forward like this, like it gets blown or it hits a branch or something like that. That's how resistance is going to be. So if you hold it in your hand, I don't recommend doing this, but you can sort of test it. If you push against it like this while it's armed, you'll see that a higher I gain will help. It'll spin the motors faster there to help counteract that movement. So it's kind of more a tight, locked in feeling with the I gain there. And for the D gain, that's a derivative there. That's sort of just sort of smoothing stuff out. If you have oscillations, it's just kind of smoothing stuff out. However, if it does get too high, it can amplifies the noise that's in the quad, which is why if you put an extremely high D gain and you have a noisy quad, you can smoke a motor. So you have to be a little bit more careful with that one. And now also just a real quick explanation of anti-gravity. That is just when you move the throttle quickly, your throttle, if you punch it real quick, it will recognize that and it will increase the I gains, because when you punch, sometimes you'll have like a little dip like this or sideways or whichever way it is. It's usually pitched forward like that. So you can run really high I gains to help correct that, since it prevents movement from outside forces. However, that's just not really realistic in flight. So anti-gravity gain only happens when you move the throttle fast enough. And there's a certain threshold, but the stock is fine there. So what that does is it boosts the I gains by like 3-4 times, whatever you set it to. So I just set anti-gravity at 6, and I just run it stock like that, and I never change it, and it seems to work well for me. So I already have it set up as 6 when we're doing the tuning video here. As well as I do have the notch 1 and 2 turned off, as well as dynamic filtering turned on. And there's a link down below to the setup video if you wish to see more of those settings I did. So let's get into the tuning. Okay, so here we go. This is just the stock PIDs here. Just flying around and giving it a feel. And I'm running Cyclone V2 props on here. Definitely very good stock, the prop wash at least. Yeah, definitely very good stock. This Betaflight 3.2.3. So we can I'm just gonna feel a roll for the P gains. The pitch is definitely really lacking. So is the yaw. The yaw is usually really low. Roll's kind of close. This is a Squish X, so that makes more sense. You need higher gains on the pitch axis. So what I'm doing for the P here is I'm just kind of listening to how sort of sharp the response is to what I'm actually doing on the stick here. So let's just land over here. Okay, now I can go into the OSD. I'm just going to raise the roll P. Let's see. The roll felt pretty good, but I usually like to raise them quite a bit, so I'm going to raise that to, let's just go to 44. I'll leave the I and D alone. For the pitch, that definitely need to come way up. That is 58. Let's just go to 68. And the yaw, oops, if I turn my timer off, the yaw P is really low. at 70. I usually like to have it at somewhere around 90. You don't really get too many adverse effects from that, so we can just go back out of this menu. We can save and exit. Okay, definitely is kind of cool having OSD, able to tune like that. Okay, so I'm definitely getting some weird bounce back there. But it definitely feels a little bit more snappy in response. Let's check the pitch. Okay. Pitch is definitely way better there. You have more weight spread out on the pitch axis on a frame like this. So that makes sense for that to be higher. And then the yaw. The yaw is kind of a weird axis to tune. You kind of just, I usually just put it at 90 and just let it stay there.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
okay.
2, 1, 0.
I guess that's feeling all right there. So I'm going to do the eye next. Just leave the P's alone for now. So it's feeling kind of like wobbly and all over the place, and the eye sort of stiffens everything up. So if you do punches, hopefully you can see as I punch, that actually is holding the nose really steady there. I do have anti-gravity of 6 right now, but you just kind of hold it and see how it holds the attitude. It's doing pretty well there, but I usually just like to raise the values. I just like the way it feels more, and I don't really notice any adverse effects from it. So let's just land this right here and then go into the PIDs. I'm going to raise the roll to 50. The eye, I usually like to go up to 65 just to help hold the nose a little more steady there. And then for the yaw, I just bring this guy up to 55. About like that. Let's go back. Save and reboot. Okay. So let's just pop the throttle, test the eye here. So that the yaw was shaking around a little bit, but that might have been my thumb moving it here. Yeah, see, that's actually really nice and steady there. Okay, so let's just sort of leave it around. Sort of fly in some corners here. See how it holds up. Battery is low. Gonna have to come in and swap this guy. Okay, we have a new battery, and I fixed my ground station. I was on the wrong channel and the wrong polarization, so that's why my video was bad. And now it's crystal clear on 25 milliwatts with the clear view. Just feeling it out here. So just chopping the throttle here, just to look at the eye values and how it holds its attitude, especially since it is a little bit windy out today. It's how it's going to respond to outside forces acting on it, like wind. So throttle chops are a good way to check that out.
2 minutes.
It seems to be holding pretty nice there. And like I said, in general, I pretty much just find that I just boost the eye values and it pretty much works fine just like that. So now I'm going to look for some prop wash here. I do have the notches off and the dynamic filter on, and wow, that's nice right off the bat. Right there. For not doing anything, this prop wash is really nice. Oh yeah. Sliding turn like that, doesn't even budge. Just come over here. Still could feel a little bit tighter, and I'm not getting any oscillations, so I'm just going to go ahead and bump all of the P gains up. There's not really much adverse effects here since I'm not getting any oscillations, as well as I'm going to increase the I gains once again just to help it feel a little bit tighter, and see how this feels here. Right there, just bump those up by 5. We can save that. Alright, so let's test out these changes here. It's feeling a little better on the P there. The roll at least. Definitely some bounce back. But it's kind of a... Yeah, look at that. It's kind of a soft bounce back. It's not really sharp or a double bounce. So we might actually need some more P to help that. Pitch. Same thing. You can see, hopefully, it looks, to me at least, that was pretty solid there. It's more of a big swooping bounce. And then the yaw is just kind of whatever. And then prop wash is still fine. We haven't moved the D, but I'll probably boost them in a little bit here. So P gains are still looking good actually, so let's increase them again. Might as well here. Let's go up to 52 on the roll P, and then the pitch P. The pitch P felt really actually a lot closer than the roll, so I'm just going to go up just a little bit, 74, and then the yaw P I'm going to go up to 100 because why not? Okay, so we can go back here. There we go. And throttle wasn't all the way down, my bad. Let's try this out. Okay. So the reason I keep raising the P's like this slowly is because I'm not really seeing any bad things come out of it, so that means you still have headroom to tune there. So hopefully you can hear, I think I was getting a little bit more prop wash now. Still crazy amount low, but so we are getting kind of close to the P ceiling, I think, at least to what I want. I tend to like a little bit higher P, and then I fly around the prop wash, but we'll have to see here. Okay, this battery's pretty low here. So let's make some changes. So let's see, what do I want to change? So I'm just going to keep going up again. I'm going to go up to a 54. I'm going to raise then the pitch. I'm going to leave the yaw alone, but I'm going to raise those up 2 more because that seems to be making it better and better as I go up, so might as well keep doing it. So I'm going to go save and exit here, and then I'm going to have to switch this battery out because it's pretty much done here. Okay. See how this flies here. Definitely getting better and better as I raise up the P gains here. Yeah, that's what I like. You can hopefully hear it. It just sounds nice and sharp. And the movements. Obviously that comes from moving the sticks, changing directions quickly. But, oh, there was some little oscillation. So yeah, I think we're getting close to the P ceiling here. So I'm actually going to leave these alone for now. But I did get a little bit of prop wash. I might actually have to add some TPA too. We'll have to see. Let's do a full throttle punch to see if I need TPA. Actually, just a little bit of top end oscillation, I think. So I'm going to increase that as well as start bumping up the D gains here. Oh no, I'm in the snow. Oops. Okay, so let's go in. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the P gains alone. I'm gonna bump up the D. The roll, it's really nice with this dynamic filtering and the notches off. Stock Betaflight here, that's doing really well. So I'm just gonna bump these up just a little bit. Since the pitch P is higher, I can go up a little bit more. And then we can go back. And then I'm going to, okay, so here is the TPA. See, I have it at 0.2 here. I'm just gonna go up to 0.25. And go back and save this. There we go. Just check that out. Let's do a whole throttle punch. Okay, that sounds a little cleaner there. What the heck was that? Okay, here we are back again. So that crash actually, I'm pretty sure, was from when I landed in the snow there. Things got wet, so it just kind of shut the ESC down. I let it dry out, and now we can reboot, so we should be good here. And I did have time to review the HD footage there, and I was noticing some small oscillations in the P gain that I couldn't tell otherwise, but I could hear it in the audio. So I'm actually going to back the Ps down just a little bit. I'm just going to bring these down just a little bit. As well, I'm going to increase the D gains here, just like that. So hopefully that will help get rid of those. So we can go up here. So the sun did go away. Still getting some top end oscillations, I think. So we're gonna need some more TPA, but that D gain increase definitely did help a little bit with the bounce back. Yeah, okay. So let's increase the D a little bit more as well as the TPA here. I'm just going to go to the D gain here and go up to 38 and then go to 45. Actually, I'll go to 40 on here. Okay. Because it's a really nice clean build. And go down here to the TPA. I'm going to go up to 28% there. So we can, I'm just going to save and reboot this time, just because. Okay, here we go. Sounds pretty clean. I'll have to check the HD to see if I can still have those oscillations. That's where having a HD camera with good audio definitely helps. So there still is some bounce back, but that's kind of really hard to go. You can just sort of fly around it like that. Just let off the stick a little bit easier with your roll. And you can still have a sharp looking stop to your flip. Still sounds like I am having some oscillations in corners like this where I'm sort of sliding backwards from the prop wash there. Definitely not bad, but I think the D gain's not exactly helping it too much. So I'm going to decrease the P just a little bit right here. So I'm going to bump the P gains down just a little bit. See if those oscillations go away. Or at least help a little bit. So that definitely does sound a little bit cleaner to my ear there, although it could be just in my head, but it sounds pretty good. So yeah, this quad is flying really nicely, and I think we are pretty much just about done here. Might need a little bit more D-gain. Just sounding, although these props are just a little bit damaged from that crash there. But yeah, it looks real good. So let me land here and I'll do a full battery. I'll add some music and then we'll finish up. Well, that sure is one way to end that flight there. Clipped that branch and went down in the snow. So I guess that's going to be the end of the tuning video here. So I'll put a screenshot right now of my finalized PIDs. And I did adjust them a little bit more from that last flight there because I was noticing a little bit of de-oscillation. So I just lowered those values as well as increased the TPA a little bit to 32 right there. I just want to reiterate that when I was showing you the tuning, pushing the P and D gains up like I was causing a lot of small oscillations that I wasn't able to hear until I looked at the GoPro footage with the audio on. So that's why I had to reduce those back down quite a bit like that. But other than that, this guy is flying really nice, and there will be links down in the description to all of the parts here if you're interested in buying them, as well as a link to the build video and setup and beta flight that I did. So if you have a similar quad, you can follow that. Hopefully you found this video informational. I know it's probably not, it didn't turn out quite how I wanted it, but it's just kind of hard. It's just so cold out right now. and it's kind of hard to explain PID tuning as it's really mostly a feel thing, and the more you do it, the better you get at it. This WTO toy thing, whatever this is, I got from Banggood, actually works surprisingly well. When your hands are in there, they stay much warmer, and I apologize for the stick cam not being any good. It fogged up because it was so warm in there, but I'll just pull the audio off of that. So hopefully you found this video helpful, or at least somewhat entertaining. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.